My stepbrother got my inheritance after Dad died, but he never expected that the company he flaunted actually had my name on the deed. Stick with me, because what started as the ultimate betrayal turned into the sweetest revenge, one that left my arrogant stepbrother humiliated in front of everyone who ever praised him. And before we dive in, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Your support keeps these stories alive and helps us bring you even more jaw-dropping family betrayals. My name is Daniel, and if you asked anyone in town who the golden child was, they'd point straight to my stepbrother, Tyler. Dad remarried when I was 12, and Tyler came with the package deal. Loud, arrogant, always the center of attention. Me? I was the quiet one, the one they overlooked at the dinner table. And when Dad passed away, the will only confirmed what I'd always known. Tyler got the spotlight, and I got the scraps. Dad's lawyer sat us down, read the words slowly, and my stomach dropped. Tyler would inherit Dad's legacy, the company, the house, the accounts. I was left with a small portion, a polite way of saying I didn't matter. Tyler smirked like he'd just been crowned king. He even leaned close and whispered, "Guess you're just a guest in this family after all." I didn't argue. I didn't fight. I let him believe he'd won. Because what he didn't know, what no one at that table knew, was that Dad had trusted me in a way Tyler could never understand. See, Tyler only knew the glitter on the surface. He had no idea about the paperwork filed years earlier. No idea that the property he called his crown jewel wasn't his at all. But I kept my mouth shut. Tyler strutted around town flashing Dad's company like it was a trophy. He started throwing parties in the house, inviting influencers, even posting videos of himself in Dad's office chair like he was some business mogul. People ate it up, and I stayed in the shadows, watching, waiting. I remembered Dad's words clearly, a month before his heart gave out. "Daniel, I've seen the way Tyler is. Reckless, arrogant. He'll ruin everything if it's left to him. That's why the real ownership is in your name. But don't tell him yet. Let him show the world who he really is." So I did exactly that. Tyler had no clue he was living in my shadow. He drove the cars, flashed the money, bragged about his company. But every decision he made, every contract he signed, every flashy deal he tried to push through, it all needed my signature in the end. The best part? He hadn't realized it yet. The first time I saw him crash, it was at a board meeting. He walked in late, sunglasses on, hangover obvious, and started pitching a ridiculous plan about turning Dad's firm into a crypto empire. The investors looked like they'd swallowed lemons. When the documents got passed around, Tyler grabbed the pen like it was his stage, but the lawyer cleared his throat. "I'm sorry, Mr. Tyler. You're not authorized to sign. The deed requires Mr. Daniel Morgan." The look on his face, confusion curdling into panic, was priceless. But I still kept calm, quiet, letting him think maybe it was some kind of clerical error. I didn't reveal the truth. Not yet. Because revenge isn't about yelling. It's about timing. And I was just getting started. After the board meeting fiasco, Tyler started panicking. But his ego wouldn't let him admit he was out of control. He doubled down, throwing money at flashy ventures, hiring consultants who were just sycophants, and posting every move on social media. The world saw a confident mogul. I saw a man unraveling. Every contract he signed, every deal he boasted about, was a ticking time bomb. Because I held the keys. I had access to every legal document, every deed, every shareholder account. I didn't need to confront him directly. I just needed to wait. It started with small sabotages. A late-night email from me to the law firm delayed his crypto empire launch. A forgotten signature here, a minor clause there. Tyler raged, screaming at his assistants, blaming everyone but himself. Yet, the public? They saw only a growing empire. A man working tirelessly. Tyler's mistakes became bolder. He invested heavily in a flashy real estate project without reading the fine print. I quietly corrected the documents in the background. Documents in my name. The property legally belonged to me, though he believed it was his. Soon, his prize development was stalled, investors frustrated, and Tyler flailing to explain. At home, he threw a fit over the company car fleet. He didn't realize that my name was on the leases, not his. A delivery truck refused to release vehicles to him. Employees called me, confused. I calmly signed the release forms and smiled, while Tyler raged, looking like a fool in front of the staff. Social media amplified his humiliation. Videos of his failed ventures went viral. Investors started whispering. Competitors smelled weakness. Yet Tyler never suspected me. He thought the world was conspiring against him, not realizing the quiet shadow orchestrating it all. And then came the board meeting that would truly test him. Tyler strutted in with his usual overconfidence, wearing an expensive suit and a grin meant to intimidate. He thought he was untouchable. He began presenting a plan to sell part of Dad's company to a rival firm for a quick profit. But the fine print in the contract listed the ownership and signing authority in my name. The moment the lawyer asked for my signature, Tyler froze. His face went red, then pale. He tried to speak, to assert control, but the room went silent. Every investor, every board member, every assistant in the room saw it. The empire he flaunted wasn't his at all. I signed calmly. "Proceed," I said. Tyler's jaw dropped. The room erupted in whispers. I had just validated the deal that legally belonged to me, all while letting him squirm. He sputtered, trying to save face, but the truth was undeniable. I left the meeting with a small, satisfied smile. Tyler thought he was the star, but the world had just glimpsed the invisible hand holding the strings, and I hadn't even revealed the final move yet, the one that would humiliate him beyond recovery. At home, Tyler confronted me, storming into the room. "Daniel, you can't keep doing this. Everyone thinks I'm running the company, and suddenly I can't even sign a paper without you." I leaned back, calm as ever. "Tyler, you've been living in the spotlight for years, thinking it was yours. It's just reality catching up." He didn't understand. He couldn't. And that's exactly how I wanted it. Tyler's arrogance was his weakness, and I was poised to exploit it completely. The next phase was simple: the public reveal. I would choose a high-profile event, an investor meeting with the media present, and finally expose the truth. Tyler would crumble in front of the world, and I would finally step into the power that had always been mine. Until then, I stayed patient. Every mistake he made, every flaunted asset, every boastful post online, it only strengthened my position. Tyler was his own worst enemy, and I was quietly waiting for the perfect moment to let him fall. The day of the investor gala arrived. Tyler strutted in, flashing a grin that was meant to dazzle the media and the room full of executives. Cameras clicked, flashbulbs popped. He moved like a king, completely unaware that the throne he thought he owned was already claimed. I stayed in the shadows, quiet, watching. All the moves I had orchestrated, delayed deals, unsigned contracts, minor errors, had led to this moment. Tyler's empire, the one he flaunted across social media and town gossip, was about to collapse in front of everyone who ever cheered for him. The keynote presentation began. Tyler launched into his pitch, speaking confidently about expansion, innovation, and profits. He glanced at me, assuming I was just another attendee. Little did he know, I held the power to stop him at any second. When he reached the section about selling a major portion of the company, the lawyer stepped forward. "I'm sorry, Mr. Tyler, but this transaction cannot proceed without Mr. Daniel Morgan's authorization." The words hit like a hammer. Tyler froze mid-sentence. His smirk faltered, his confidence evaporated, and the cameras caught every second of it. The room murmured. Executives whispered. Investors leaned in. He tried to recover, stammering, I can handle this, it's just paperwork." I stood, walking to the podium. Calmly, deliberately, I addressed the room. "Ladies and gentlemen, I believe it's time the truth is clear. This company, this legacy, is legally mine. Every asset, every contract, every deed belongs to me. Tyler has been managing it under the illusion that he owned it." Shock rippled across the room. Flashbulbs blazed. Tyler's face went crimson. He opened his mouth, but no words could fix the humiliation. I smiled, letting the weight of the moment settle. It's important to respect a legacy, not just flaunt it. And it seems Tyler learned that lesson too late. The investors started murmuring, asking questions about Tyler's previous dealings. Each misstep, each reckless decision, each viral blunder I had quietly documented came to light. Tyler's empire, once a showpiece of arrogance, began to unravel in real time. He tried to argue, tried to justify his actions, but the evidence was undeniable. Contracts in my name, properties registered under me, legal authority unchallenged. Tyler's empire, his fantasy world of power, was collapsing before the world that once cheered for him. And then, the final blow. I announced a major acquisition under my name, a deal Tyler had boasted about publicly for months. The media, already snapping pictures, now had the headline, "Daniel Morgan Claims Company After Stepbrother's Public Blunders." Tyler's attempts to intervene were futile. Every camera, every investor, every executive witnessed his humiliation. He stormed out of the gala, red-faced, muttering under his breath. The empire he thought he owned, the reputation he flaunted, it was gone. I stayed, collected, and confident. This was not just about revenge. It was about justice, timing, and letting the arrogant fall under the weight of their own hubris. After the gala, I sent a private message to Tyler, just one line. You wanted the crown. Reality had other plans. The next day, the media coverage exploded. Videos of the gala went viral, showing Tyler's panic and my calm authority. Social media users called it the ultimate stepbrother revenge story, and the company's shareholders publicly praised my leadership. I finally stepped fully into the role I had been prepared for all along. Tyler? He became a cautionary tale of arrogance and entitlement, while I quietly rebuilt the legacy Dad had entrusted to me. It felt surreal, watching the empire flourish under my control, knowing the man who once mocked me now had no claim, no voice, and no power. Every move I had made, every calculated delay, every silent correction, culminated in this perfect victory. And as I look back now, the lesson is clear. Sometimes the quiet one, underestimated, overlooked, and underestimated, is the one holding all the cards. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your support keeps these jaw-dropping family betrayal stories alive and helps us share even more explosive confessions just like this. Leave a comment to let us know what you'd do if you were in Daniel's shoes.